Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Budget session of Parliament commences tomorrow. Government seeks cooperation of all parties for smooth functioning of the session. President of 77th session of UN General Assembly Saba Qureshi stresses on bringing reforms in UNSC to prevent Russia-Ukraine-like conflicts, meets Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Filing of nominations for assembly elections in Tripura ends. In Pakistan, at least 44 people killed and over 150 injured in a suicide blast inside a mosque in Peshawar. A grateful nation remembers Mahatma Gandhi on his 75th death anniversary. And Khelo India Youth Games begin in Madhya Pradesh. An all-party meeting was held today ahead of the budget session of Parliament beginning tomorrow. The meeting convened by the government was attended by Union Ministers Rajnath Singh, Prahlad Joshi and Piyush Goyal. NCP Chief Sharad Pawar, Sudeep Bandyopadhyay of TMC, Elamaram Karim of CPIM, Priyanka Chaturvedi of Shiv Sena UBT, Manoj Jha of RJD, Sanjay Singh of AAP were among those who attended the meeting. Talking to the media after the meeting, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi said the government is ready for a discussion on any issue in Parliament as per rules and procedures.
इस बजट सत्र में महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी का उद्बोधन होगा, उसके बाद बजट का प्रेजेंटेशन होगा, भाषण के ऊपर थैंक्स गिविंग मोशन पर चर्चा होगा, बजट पर चर्चा होगा। आज इसके लिए हमने ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग बुलाया था। इस मीटिंग में 27 पार्टी से 37 लीडर्स पार्टिसिपेट किया है। बहुत अच्छे माहौल में चर्चा हुआ है।
Ahead of the forthcoming budget session, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla today inspected various arrangements and facilities in the Parliament House complex. Emphasizing on maintaining utmost standards of cleanliness during the session, he asked all agencies to work in unison to ensure a smooth conduct of the budget session. The Lok Sabha Speaker also took stock of the security arrangements in the Parliament House complex and directed the concerned officials to ensure unhindered access to members of Parliament while simultaneously maintaining the highest standards of security. President of the 77th session of United Nations General Assembly Saba Qureshi has stressed the need to bring reforms in the UN Security Council. Mr. Qureshi was interacting with media in New Delhi today after meeting Prime Minister Narendra Modi, External Affairs Minister Jaishankar and Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri. Responding to a media query about the Russia-Ukraine conflict, he said this issue was discussed during the meeting and to prevent such incidents in future, Security Council must be reformed. He said India has been very active on Ukraine-related issues.
India has a vision how this world should look like and how India's role should look like in this changing world. The United Nations has a vision also how this world should change by 2030 and beyond, and we are working very hard to make it happen in the General Assembly.
On the issue of China violating India's sovereignty along the northern border, the UNGA president said all the conflicts must be resolved by peaceful means. Mr. Saba Qureshi today met Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi. In a tweet, Mr. Modi expressed happiness on Mr. Qureshi's first visit to India and his support for G20 India. During the meeting, the Prime Minister reaffirmed India's commitment to multilateralism, including at the United Nations. Mr. Modi said he also discussed with Mr. Qureshi the importance of conserving and optimizing global water resources. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today met President of UNGA Saba Qureshi in New Delhi. In a tweet, Dr. Jaishankar said during the meeting they discussed global challenges, UN reform and the Ukraine conflict and G20 agenda. He assured Mr. Qureshi of India's full support in developmental progress and reformed multilateralism. Dr. Jaishankar also hosted a millet lunch for him. Mr. Qureshi arrived in New Delhi yesterday on a 3-day visit. This is his first bilateral visit to any country since he assumed UNGA presidency in September last year. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Budget 2023. What makes the headlines? What matters most for the people, markets, sectors, industry and the nation? Join All India Radio News for a special live day-long program on Union Budget for an in-depth analysis by experts, special budget bulletins, people's reaction on the budget and exclusive interviews. Tune into the FM Gold channel 100.1 MHz of All India Radio and other frequencies from 10:10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Wednesday, that's 1st of February. It will also be available on our app News on AIR and our YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
Welcome back to the news at 9. In poll-bound Tripura, filing of nomination papers ended today. As many as 228 candidates filed their nomination papers today. The state is going to polls on the 16th of February. More from our Agartala correspondent.
Tripura Chief Electoral Officer Kiran Gite said that it was the highest single-day figure on the last day in terms of filing of nomination papers for the assembly polls. Talking to AIR News, he said the total number of nominations filed is 305. In 2018, around 297 candidates had filed their nomination papers. Mr. Gite said that filing of nomination papers took place in a peaceful manner as no untoward incident was reported from any part of the state. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Agartala.
With the issue of notification filing of nominations for election to the 60-member Nagaland Legislative Assembly will begin from tomorrow. Candidates will be allowed to submit their nomination papers till the 7th of February. The scrutiny will be done on the 8th of February and the last date for withdrawal of candidature is February the 10th. Polling will be held on the 27th of February. Counting will take place on March the 2nd. The Election Commission has withheld the Lakshadweep Lok Sabha by-poll and deferred the issuance of notification after Kerala High Court decision on sitting MP Mohammad Faisal. Last week, the High Court had suspended the conviction and sentence imposed on Faisal. The Election Commission had announced by-election to Lakshadweep along with 6 assembly constituencies spread over 5 states on the 18th of this month. India's G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant today inaugurated the first model G20 summit in Maharashtra. The 2-day summit has been organized at the Rambhau Malgi Prabhonidhi's Uttan campus near Mumbai. Addressing the summit, Mr. Kant said India has taken the G20 presidency amidst global turmoil like post-COVID challenges, climate crisis and food and energy crisis. He said India believes that every challenge brings an opportunity. Mr. Kant reiterated India's G20 presidency seeks to advocate the oneness of all. Science 20 Inception meeting was held today at Puducherry. Scientists from 10 countries of G20 along with scientists from India's premier science institutions participated in the deliberations. The nation paid homage to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, on his 75th death anniversary today. The day was also observed as Martyrs' Day. Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated on this day in 1948. President Draupadi Murmu laid a wreath at the Samadhi of Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat in New Delhi and offered floral tributes to him. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri and Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla were among those who paid tributes to the father of the nation at his Samadhi. An interreligious prayer meeting was organized on the occasion. The nation also observed a 2-minute silence at 11 a.m. today. An interfaith prayer meeting was held on the death anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi at Gandhi Smriti in New Delhi this evening. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla and other dignitaries attended the prayer meet and paid tributes to Mahatma Gandhi on the occasion of Martyrs' Day. In Bangladesh, the martyrdom of Mahatma Gandhi was observed at Gandhi Ashram in Noakhali and Jamalpur. High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, Pranay Verma, visited the ashram and paid rich tributes to Gandhiji. He also participated in a discussion on the relevance of Mahatma Gandhi in the contemporary world. He also emphasized Gandhiji's belief in harmony with nature, his determination for the empowerment of the poorest, and his message of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam that inspires the motto of one earth, one family, one future, adopted by India for its G20 presidency. Members of the trust, local political leaders, representatives of the administration as well as civil society and academia joined the interaction. In Pakistan, death toll has risen to 44 in the suicide blast inside a mosque in Police Lines area of Peshawar near Afghanistan. At least 157 people were injured. According to the police, the blast took place at the mosque where a large number of people had gathered for afternoon prayers. Police officials said there were around 260 people inside the mosque, which is located close to a police housing block, when the blast occurred. A rescue operation is underway inside the mosque as a number of people were buried under the rubble after a portion of the building collapsed due to the explosion. Meanwhile, the terror outfit Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan claimed responsibility for the blast. The 5th edition of Khelo India Youth Games 2022 began in Madhya Pradesh today. Union Sports and Youth Affairs Minister Anurag Singh Thakur and Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan inaugurated the Games in a colourful ceremony at Tatya Tope Nagar Stadium in Bhopal. Speaking on the occasion, Anurag Thakur said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made constant efforts to take sports forward in the country.
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इसकी शुरुआत की थी। अब अगले 5 वर्षों की भी अनुमति इसके लिए मिल गई है और 3200 करोड़ रुपए का खेलो इंडिया योजना के लिए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने स्वीकृति दे दी। किसी भी बड़े टूर्नामेंट से पहले शायद ही दुनिया का कोई ऐसा प्रधानमंत्री या राष्ट्रपति हो कि अपने खिलाड़ियों से बात करता हो। भारत के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने एक बार नहीं बार-बार खिलाड़ियों का मनोबल बढ़ाने का काम भी किया है और उनके आने पर उनका स्वागत अभिनंदन करने का काम भी किया है।
Our correspondent reports that about 6,000 players from across the country are participating in this edition of Khelo India Games. 8 cities of Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal, Indore, Ujjain, Jabalpur, Gwalior, Mandla, Balaghat and Maheshwar and Delhi are hosting various sports events. The games will conclude on February the 11th. All India Radio has invited applications to design the logo depicting the 100th episode of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Mann Ki Baat program. The participants can submit their entries latest by the 1st of February. The logo should be designed on a digital platform and reproducible in multiple formats for multiple platforms. The winner will also receive a cash reward of 1 lakh rupees. All other details are available at mygov.in portal. President Draupadi Murmu will address the 31st Foundation Day of the National Commission for Women in New Delhi tomorrow. The theme of the program is Sashakt Nari, Sashakt Bharat, aimed at acknowledging and celebrating the stories of women who have excelled and paved their journey to leave a mark. Union Minister for Women and Child Development Smriti Zubin Irani will also grace the occasion. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, heavy snowfall has affected normal life. Air and surface transport was also disrupted due to the snowfall. More from our Srinagar correspondent.
Kashmir Valley received heavy snowfall today, cutting it off from the rest of the world. The heavy snowfall resulted in the closure of various road networks, including Jammu-Srinagar and Srinagar-Leh national highways, besides the suspension of Baramulla-Banihal rail service and the cancellation of all the 68 flights at Srinagar International Airport today. Mughal Road, an alternate road link between Kashmir and rest parts of the country, has also been closed due to heavy snowfall. Sunil Kohl, AIR News, Srinagar.
In Himachal Pradesh, the higher reaches received heavy snow while intermittent rain lashed several parts including Shimla. In Uttarakhand, snowfall occurred at the Char Dhams and other high-altitude places. Traffic is closed on the Gangotri and Yamunotri National Highway due to snowfall. In Rajasthan, due to rain and hailstorm in the last 2 days, crops have suffered heavy damage in many districts. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Budget session of Parliament commences tomorrow. Government seeks cooperation of all parties for smooth functioning of the session. President of 77th session of UN General Assembly, Saba Korosi, stresses on bringing reforms in UNSC to prevent Russia-Ukraine-like conflicts, meets Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Filing of nominations for assembly elections in Tripura ends. In Pakistan, at least 44 people killed and over 150 injured in a suicide blast inside a mosque in Peshawar. A grateful nation remembers Mahatma Gandhi on his 75th death anniversary. And Khelo India Youth Games begin in Madhya Pradesh. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.